We're now able to add messages to a channel and see them displayed almost instantly within our messages section. We can switch to another channel and keep our messages within their respective channels. But now let's move on to our Upload Media button. We want users to be able to add images to their channels. We'll do that within our message form component. We want to create a modal property set initially to false. We'll be using a modal just like we did with our add channel modal, our channels component. So we'll create a function called openModal, which will set the modal property in state to true to make it visible, our modal for adding a new media file, and we'll connect this function to an on-click handler on our Upload Media button. And to display our modal, we'll put it within a custom component called File Modal. And we want to pass down to our file modal first our modal value in state, which will pass as a modal prop. So we'll destructure that from state within render, pass modal down to file modal, as well as a close modal function as the prop close modal. So we can copy and paste our open modal function and modify it to be close modal, where it will set the modal property of state within message form to false to hide our modal. We'll pass that down. We'll create a new file within our messages folder of file modal. We'll import React at the top. This will be a stateful component. We'll have its render and return, and we'll export file modal at the end. And we want to grab from semantic UI modal input button and icon. We'll start with our modal component, and on it we'll have the basic prop for some basic styling. The visibility will be toggled with the open prop. We'll pass the modal prop that we're getting from our parent component down to it, as well as close modal. So we'll pass modal to open, and on close we'll have a value of close modal function. Then we'll have a header within our modal, the text of select an image file. Then we'll have a content section which will include the input where users can select a file. We'll have the prop of fluid, the label of the file types that they need to include. It'll have the label of file types, JPEG and PNG. The name of it, the name of this input will be file, the type will be file, and underneath the modal content will include some buttons within a modal actions section. So the first button will have a color of green, be inverted so we can see the text. And within the button tags we'll have an icon, the name set to checkmark, and the text of send to send our selected file. So we'll copy that button, paste it in underneath, give it a color of red, a name of remove, and a text of cancel to cancel sending a given file. We'll give it an on-click of close modal to be able to cancel sending a given file. So back in our message form, we need to import file modal up at the top from /file modal. Now we can save both of those files. If we click on Upload Media, we can see our file modal, or we can choose a file. We can hit Cancel to close the modal.